and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant slash bucktotem Bertrum. Say hello, Bertrum.
Hello, Bertram.
And this is my review for Tekken 8. So dear viewer, if you don't mind, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. So dear viewers, like that beautiful bearded bastard Barry Burton, you're probably wondering,
what is this? What is it? What? What is this? What is it? What is it?
Yes, Tekken 8 is, unsurprisingly, the sequel to Tekken 7. And though this is called Tekken 8, the title is a complete and utter lie. This is actually the 10th Tekken game. But I suppose those other two don't count. Just like my second wife's breasts. So small, might as well not have them at all. But we're not here to discuss that. We are here to talk about Tekken 8. So, like telling Pinocchio that his penis is made of wood, let me just state the obvious from the off. This is a beat-em-up video game. And this time, the main story takes place 6 months after the events of Tekken 7. And essentially focuses on the final confrontation between protagonist Jin Kazama and his father Mishima. And that's all I want to tell you without spoiling the game's storyline, but let me just say, even though we're not at the part where I talk about the positives of the game, this is by far the best story in any Tekken video game. And I will smack anyone with a rather large plastic fish who disagrees with me.
Well...
Before you say anything, Bertram, let me just assure you that I have the large plastic fish in hand.
Never mind.
Good man. Now this game actually features not one story campaign, but 2. But let me just recommend that you play the main story first, because it kind of, sort of, spoils certain events if you start with the side story titled Unforgettable Echoes first. But let me assure you that both story modes are absolutely essential. So let's get into the nuts and bollocks of this review, dear viewers, starting with the goods. Like I've already said, the story campaign in this game is absolutely bloody fantastic. Amazing visuals, amazing soundtrack, more emotional moments that you would find at a pop star's funeral. And holy Michael Bay, is this game not cinematic? 1 minute you're beating someone up, the next minute you're jumping out of a bloody plane, the next minute you're having a fight on the fucking moon, and it is glorious with a capital G. Speaking of glorious with a capital G, this game has the best gameplay of any Tekken video game. Nay, any beat-em-up game in general. There's some new gameplay systems here for you Tekken fanboys and fangirls. Something called the Heat System, another thing called the Tornado System. I'm not the best at explaining these kind of things, but let's just say they are very cool. And that's all you need to know. They are very cool systems. What are they, Bertram? That's right, very cool systems. There's also more modes in this game than you would find on a really high-tech vibrator. Of course, there's the aforementioned story modes, there's an arcade mode, there's an arcade quest mode, in which you basically create an avatar of yourself and play a little cutesy storyline where you visit game arcades and fight against other players. There's the online mode if you're into that kind of thing. There's tournaments. This game has more to do than you would find at your average orgy. Another thing I absolutely love about this game is just how damn over the top it is. I already mentioned how you fight on the bloody moon. We also have the villain in this game merging with a villain from a different Tekken game to become an uber super duper villain. And in fact, it's that we get to fight on the fucking moon. This game really does feel like Bayonetta meets Mortal Kombat meets Dead or Alive. You know, because Dead or Alive has all those attractive women in it. And boy, oh boy, so does Tekken 8. Attractive chaps too. Some of the bulges. Oh my. What else can I praise the game about? Oh yes, if you happen to have not played any of the previous Tekken games, don't you worry your cute little touche, because there's recaps of the events of all the previous Tekken games. And for those of you like me who might be beat-em-up virgins, there's a control scheme that you can activate in this game which will make the fights much more, shall we say, simplistic. Some would call it simplistic, I call it more fun. That brings us to the bad. And, there must be something I didn't like. Well, if I had to say one thing, it would be I wish the story modes were a little bit longer. The main story mode took me about 3 hours to finish. The other story mode took me about an hour. So you're looking at about 3, 4, maybe 4.5 hours. But believe me when I say, the only reason I would like it to be slightly longer is because I had an absolute blast playing it. This is a fantastic cinematic beat-em-up. So if you haven't played it yet, what the fuck are you waiting for? Therefore, I'm going to score Tekken 8 my very first 10 out of 10 of the year 2025. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my totally not improvised review for Tekken 8. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Say goodbye, Bertram.
Goodbye, Bertram. Ow.
Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.